all depends. So what you don't want to find yourself in is if you've got a change that you want to make to your product, you don't want to find out that they won't make any changes at all when you've spent, I don't know, $80 getting the sample from China, for instance, into Australia, because that's roughly what it costs. So you don't want that to happen. Having said that, not all changes are made easily. So let's take each one by one. Fine-tuning of a product is something we'll come back to. Labeling of a product, everybody will label a product for you. No problems at all. If the factory won't label it for you, you're not dealing with a factory, you're dealing with a middleman, because a factory will absolutely label it however you want it labeling, okay? And if they won't, then it's easy for you to get it blank without any label at all and then apply your own label anyway. So that's a piece of piss. Specific packaging, oftentimes your factory will not do your packaging for you. In fact, more often than not, the factory will not be doing your packaging for you. If they do, it is because they have got another company to do the packaging and they're simply putting it together for you. But the factory where you buy the product from will not also have a packaging factory where they do the packaging for you too. Okay, so they'll outsource that, and of course you'll get charged for that. So that's those two things. That can always be done, no problems at all. If you can't get it done, it's because you're either dealing with a middleman, which is more often not the case, or don't worry about it. Get it as a blank without any packaging, without any labels on it, and just put it on yourself. That's no problems at all. Now let's come back to fine-tuning of a product. Now this is an interesting one because not all fine-tuning is created equal. And what you and I would think of as something very, very simple to alter could in fact be very difficult to alter. And the way, for most products, what they have is something called a mold that is made for the product, and then all of the products then forwards are made from that one mold. So as long as you don't need to change the mold, they can make changes for you to the product. The problem comes when you need to change the mold for something. That's when it gets very, very expensive. So let's come back to your question now. When is the right time to ask about all this? The right time to ask about all this is before you order your sample. That's the right time to ask about that, specifically with regards to any changes you want to get made, specifically with regards to that, because everything else is easy to do. But the changes, the fine-tuning as you've called it, that's more difficult. You want to find out ahead of time what they can do for you and what they will do for you before you get your sample and bring your money in. Now the problem is, of course, oftentimes you don't realize you want to change until you get the sample. You go, oh, I don't really like that aspect of it, or I wish it did that. So what you do in that situation is say to them, given that I'm going to be ordering more, can anything that I spend on the sample, I want that to be taken off my final invoice. And I'm yet to meet anybody factory-wise that won't do that deal for you. So that's always what I ask for. Any money I spend on samples, I want back on my first invoice. Hey, thanks so much for watching that video, and I hope that you got some massive value from it. Before you go, do you live in Australia? If you do, this is for you. Would you like to learn how to sell things on Amazon here in Australia? Would you like to know what sells really, really well and what sells for the maximum amount of profit? Would you like to know where you can source those products from, whether that be in China or here in Australia, and how to source them so you pay bottom dollar and get maximum value for what you're doing? If you do, please subscribe to my channel and like this video, and you'll learn that and much more. It's the exact same information that people like Jeff from New South Wales I've used to make $45,000 a month on Amazon, that Sue, who's from the sunny coast, has used to purchase herself a brand spankly BMW every single year as a result of her e-commerce business, and the lovely Kate from Bowral in New South Wales has used to make $32,000 a year on, a month, not a year, a month on Amazon, and indeed Anthony, who makes $15,000 a month on Amazon, selling, as he puts it, odds and sods. If you'd like to learn the exact same information that they use to maximize their profits for their Amazon businesses, subscribe to this video, like my channel, post below if you want me to teach you something. Okay, I'm out of here. Speak to you soon. Bye. Subscribe. Do it now.